How is it going, everyone? I want to talk about a game that's been getting a little bit of attention. Certainly, it's not one of the biggest games of 2026, but I think there are people that are hoping for the action horror title Code Violet to turn out pretty well. There have been some obvious comparisons drawn to Dino Crisis, and it is in fact a PlayStation 5 exclusive. It is not a game that is published by Sony or PlayStation. It is developed and published by Team Kill Media, who have worked on a couple of other games that I do want you guys to know about, and I would pump the brakes a little bit. You know, when you say something to the effect of spiritual successor to Dino Crisis and things of that nature, I hope that Capcom will eventually go back to Dino Crisis, but again, that might set the expectations a little bit too high, especially given Team Kill Media's track record with their games that they have put out. But as a new IP, as a game with a character that is easy on the eyes, it is a game that's getting a little bit of attention, and there is some interesting stuff around about the game, but we still don't have a ton of information. It is a $49.99 title, so it's a little bit at a lower cost, but still, that's a hefty price to pay on any game. And like I said, it is a PlayStation 5 console exclusive. Now, right off the top, why is it a PlayStation 5 console exclusive? Well, a year ago, they tweeted out, for those asking us about a PC version of Code Violet, the reason we are not bringing it to PC is we do not want anyone modding vulgar versions of the main character as well as other characters in the game. We hold our voice actresses and actors with high regard as well as our artistic vision for the game and story, and reject any form of destroying that with specific mods. Making a joke out of our art and possibly tarnishing the reputation of our voice actors and actors is not worth the extra money we can make. It's a lot of extra money. It's not even a question of is it a little bit of extra money. I think PC for a game like this would offer you a ridiculous avenue to generate more revenue. If that's not something they want to do, I get that. Stellar Blade wasn't on PC right away. However, Stellar Blade was a PlayStation published game that had funding from PlayStation. This is a self-published title, so in terms of making money, that is going to create something difficult. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Team Kill Media, they have done a couple of other titles in the past, and their games have not been all too well received. They did Quantum Error, and they did a lower-key title called Sun and Bone that came out a year ago. That was a dinosaur-themed FPS. In the case of Quantum Error, that was a game that got a little bit of attention, but ended up being very disappointing, and I don't think it's fair to take one game or a couple games and completely rule out a studio in that they can never do another good game or something to that effect. It's a pattern that you have to assess, but the thing with Team Kill Media is that Quantum Error didn't come out that long ago. It came out back in November of 2023, and as you guys know, in the essence of game development these days, in game development, 2.5 years is no time at all. On top of that, they did do this game called Sun and Bone that came out about a year ago. So I don't know how Team Kill Media is divided as far as what games are in development, because they've got multiple. They've actually got a Quantum Error sequel, I believe, in development right now as well, called Quantum State. That, I believe, is in the works, but regardless, even if we eliminate that, if they're working on it game by game or having this, these amount of projects in development, like, I'm all for shortening the game development windows and figuring that out, but given that the previous few titles from Team Kill Media have not been received all that well in Quantum Error and in Sun and Bone, that makes you gotta be a little bit more inherently skeptical about how this game is gonna turn out. Now, based on what we've seen of the game thus far, I think it looks like a totally fine game, and I like a lot of the ambiance and the aesthetic, the design of the game. I think it looks quite cool. The game notes, survive the horror, unravel the truth, dive into Code Violet, an exhilarating third-person action horror game from Team Kill Media. In the 25th century, cataclysm has left the Earth uninhabitable, driving humanity's survivors to TRAPPIST-1E. Facing extinction, the Aeon Colony harnesses cutting-edge time travel technology to abduct women from the past to be surrogates in a dark yet desperate bid to save mankind. But their mission conceals a sinister conspiracy. As Violet Sinclair, torn from your time, you awaken in the bioengineering complex swarming with ferocious prehistoric dinosaurs and hostile forces. Carefully manage your inventory, uncover Aeon's dark secrets, fight to survive, and escape during a chaotic evacuation protocol. Can you save those you care for and make it out alive? Key features note: heart-stopping survival gameplay. Feel the panic as you outmaneuver relentless dinosaurs with scarce resources and stealth, delivering the intense panic horror you crave. Strategic inventory management as well. Master limited inventory slots to prioritize weapons, healing items, and puzzle-solving tools. I mean, that's very in line with the horror titles. Explosive action horror combat. Dive into thrilling third-person battles against savage dinosaurs, blending melee and range tactics for adrenaline-pumping encounters. Stunning ray-trace visuals with Unreal Engine megalights. Lose yourself in haunting jungles and neon-lit facilities where dynamic lighting, shadows, and reflections heighten the terrifying atmosphere. Sony's 3D audio, adaptive triggers, and haptic feedback. Gripping conspiracy narrative. Unravel a tale of betrayal tied to Aeon's time travel tech and surrogate program, with Violet's journey revealing shocking twists that keep you hooked. You got puzzles as well. Solve intricate environmental and mechanical puzzles to unlock paths and secrets, adding depth and rewarding critical thinking for a satisfying challenge. Terrifying prehistoric creatures confront intelligently designed beasts and classic dinosaurs that stalk unpredictably, blending nostalgia with cutting-edge AI for unforgettable chases. And immerse yourself in a visually spectacular, heart-racing, panic-filled adventure packed with survival horror, strategic inventory management, explosive action, and brain-teasing puzzles. Perfect for thrill seekers and fans of dino-driven chaos. Like, obviously, if you have played Dino Crisis, and that's what I've seen over and over again with people talking about this game, oh, this looks like a love letter to people that played Dino Crisis. And I gotta say, from the gameplay that we've seen thus far, I'm not gonna say it looks like the most refined game ever, but it doesn't look awful or anything like that. Now, as far as insight into the gameplay of the game, they did have a 19-minute extended gameplay reveal that, dude, you look through this gameplay reveal, it looks like a totally competent third-person action game, and it looks like it's got a great atmosphere. However, you know, seeing the game in motion as well, $50 is always gonna be a hard sell with any game. So I would just be a little bit cautious. I don't think you should pre-order this game outright. Have it on your radar, and let's see how it turns out. If you do pre-order the game, you do get 24 hours of early access, and you get a bunch of pre-order bonuses and things of that nature. Look, I don't think that is going to be a make or break for you on that. But again, given the track record with Quantum Error and Sun and Bone, those games just not being received all too well. Quantum Error is actually on sale right now for $7.49, but has a 2.08 rating on the PlayStation Store. So, you know, just pump your brakes a little bit. Dino Crisis is one of the most iconic franchises of all time, and I just think drawing comparisons to that is going to set expectations pretty high. And let's just hope for a serviceable action title here, because, again, from an ambiance and vibe standpoint, I think it looks fairly good. And, you know, I don't have these sky-high expectations for it, but we'll see how it turns out. Code Violet is scheduled to be released on January the 10th. If you do pre-order the game, you'll get it 24 hours in advance. It is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. I think it's a big mistake not to release this game on PC, just from the standpoint of, dude, if that's how you feel and you want to keep the integrity of the game, look, you're allowed to release the game on whatever platforms you want, but from the standpoint of getting as much eyeballs on it, and PC is a lot of the times where these lower key franchises and lower key games, I should say, not franchise, lower key games come out and then they explode in popularity because people start talking about it on social media and then they start streaming it, so on and so forth. Limiting it to just the PlayStation 5, I think, is a bit of an issue in terms of the ceiling of the game, and I think that goes without saying, but, you know, it is what it is. That'll do it for me. Let me know your thoughts. Do you have any interest in Code Violet? It's a game that I would have a little bit of skepticism with. Keep an eye on it, but I wouldn't expect the world out of it, especially if this is something you're expecting a new Dino Crisis, for example. While, you know, the horror dinosaur action title definitely is there in Code Violet, I would just keep the expectations in check. That'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.